Hey, Kristen Levanway here in Phoenix. I had a great time today. I went to the REDC auction with a client of mine. This is a big liquidation auction house, not to be confused with a trustee sale. This is a private auction company, and they auction off bank-owned properties as ordered by the banks. So we found a property that my client was interested in, and we thought we'd go check it out and see what happened. And I was really, I have to be honest with you, I was really skeptical because I have heard a lot of mixed reviews on these auctions. This particular auction is one of the biggest. It used to be known as U.S. Home Auctions, and you see their black and yellow signs all over the place. And I've heard a lot of mixed things about them. So we went in with an open mind, but with a skeptical eye. And I got to say, I was really pleasantly surprised. The venue is the Phoenix Convention Center. It was really a large room. I'd say there was probably about 150 bidders there, but quite a large staff. Lots of people to help you out, answer your questions. Before they start the bidding, in fact, they do a lot to inform you and educate you on how their process works. They have on site all the support that you need to do the complete transaction. So they've got the auctioneer and his bidding assistants, and then they've got on-site lenders who can actually finance these properties, and an escrow staff so they complete the paperwork, and then computers and fax machines and all that stuff right there. If you want to bid on the properties, you need to show up with a $2,500 cashier's check. They're going to take a 5% down payment right on the spot as an earnest money deposit, and the $2,500 goes towards that. That's the minimum that you're going to pay. If you buy a house for $500, there were some pieces of land that went for $500, then you need to still pay them a $2,500 buyer's premium. So the bidding works like this. They've got a slate of homes. This day they were going through about 170 homes. They auction off about 25 to 30 homes an hour. It's very, very fast paced. And they go through a bingo board of homes as the homes go under contract. Not that they've won the bid, but they've actually gone through the complete contract process. They'll go green. If something happens after the bid and they come back up on the market, then they get a second chance bid and they stay white. So the bidding starts, and the auctioneer starts off with the opening bid. It ramps up pretty quick to the margin where the bidding is going to actually occur, and it's just like you see on TV with the auctioneer shouting out the bids, and then the bidding assistants actually go around and help the bidders, and they're actually the best part of the whole thing. They are so fun and so cool. But once you're actively bidding on a property, they come by, make sure you understand where they are in the bid, and they have a lot of signals and gestures and things they do that make it very, very fun. But it does keep it so that you, as a bidder, know what's going on. It keeps it really on track. It was so well organized. Once the bidding's over, then they take you behind the scenes and go through the paperwork. They fill out the purchase contract there. They verify your funds, or make sure that you're qualified through the lender. You can bring your own lender, or you can work through one of their lenders. But they make sure that when you leave that place, you're all set to close on that property. Now, one thing is, if you bid on a property at a certain price and it doesn't meet the reserve price set by the seller, then the seller has the option to decline that sale. And in some cases, if it's completely out of the question, they'll go ahead and they'll just deny it right then and there, and they may bring it back for a second chance bid. If it's in the ballpark, then they'll go ahead and let the bank review it, and they have about up to 15 days to accept the contract. So you have to wait for them to sign off on the contract, and at that point, then you've got a fully executable contract, and you can go ahead and close the deal. Now, when we went through the paperwork, one of the fellows that worked there explained that if you come to the auction, you don't have to bring a real estate agent, but he seemed to think it was a good idea to work with a realtor there, because the bank then can work directly with the real estate agent, and it just moves things a lot faster, streamlines everything. It doesn't cost you as the buyer anything, and not all realtors are going to want to go down there because they don't get paid very much for it, but it is an option for you. And in the event that the price doesn't meet the reserve, the bank will actually negotiate with the real estate agent to come to some terms. So he seemed to encourage the idea of bringing a realtor to the party. And it is like a party, believe me. If you think you're going to get like a steal of a deal, well, probably not. I mean, what I'm seeing is most of the homes are selling pretty much close to market value, except for the homes that are the ones that are kind of the duds. So those are mostly the cash deals that just aren't selling. And on those, you can sometimes get a real smoking deal. But most of the properties were going for close to the market value. You might be saving maybe 5% or something like that. But again, the bank has the option to cancel a contract if you haven't met the reserve price. So, but it is a hugely convenient way to buy a property because right then and there, within 3 minutes, if your offer is accepted. So for my client, here's what happened. We were kind of about 1/3 into the way. So we had a pretty good idea of how the auction was going. We had our game plan all set up. And so my client, Patty, she was going to hold off. She wasn't going to get into the beginning bid when it ramps up fast. She was going to sit back. And so we got in at about $85,000. She got into the game. And so at that point, the bidding assistant came over, and we had been chatting with him, so he knew what property we wanted to buy, and he was helping us out there. And it was very, very exciting because she got up to 120, and then this investor bid against her 122.5. And she, as cool as a cucumber, put in her top bid. It was just her max she was going to go was 125. She put it in right before the auctioneer said sold. And that was it. The investors backed off, and she won the auction. So we were very, very excited for her, and it was just cool to see. It's it's a non-traditional way to buy a property, but this is a non-traditional market. You got to look at all the options out there. So if you're interested in hearing more about the Red Sea auction, shoot me an email at kristen@hereinphoenix.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in going down there, just let me know. I'd love to help you out, and make it a great day.